can see Michael Reagan did a tremendous job for us at the Leadership Conference. And if you want to share that with your friends, and maybe some people who might not be friends who need a little convincing, send them the link to paleadershipconference.org. Now, another part of our conference, a big part of our conference, is each year we conduct a straw poll. And we ask attendees a number of questions, not the least of which is we try to discern where they might be standing with upcoming major elections. And the maestro of the straw poll is Scott Davis. Many of you might be familiar with Scott. He's been involved with this organization since its inception, helping to get it organized at the very beginning. Scott has each year conducted the straw poll for us. He's developed his own software that we use, and this year was able to put it together and has all the results, and Scott will now come up and share them with you. Scott?
Well, I won't be sharing all the results. I do have a different slideshow that I'm going to go through and present to you. If you are interested in seeing the full results of the Pennsylvania straw poll, the results are posted on the Pennsylvania Leadership Conference website, paleadershipconference.org, and definitely it is a pleasure each and every year to join Loman and many of you in that conference for 2 days and getting to listen to you, talk to you, take your suggestions, improve the app each year over year, and definitely grow it. But we're going to go through the slide here. Obviously, the Pennsylvania Straw Poll. Next year will be the 5th annual Pennsylvania Straw Poll that we've hosted at the Pennsylvania Leadership Conference, so I'm definitely looking forward to that milestone next year. Can I get the next slide? The Straw Poll app, the first year of the Straw Poll, it was actually paper ballots. We took the paper ballots, we had to close the poll 1 hour into breakfast that Saturday morning just to give myself and my volunteers time to go through each piece of paper, tabulate the votes. And it really did a disservice to a lot of people that showed up for that breakfast and that lunch where they weren't able to vote because there wasn't the time available. After that first year, I saw a need for improvement in how the straw poll was conducted. So that year I set forth and I wrote an iPad app that actually would do the straw poll in a scientific way so that we could conduct a scientific survey. There was no software currently available to do so. The straw poll app is currently at version 2.83, and it is 99 cents in the App Store. What that means is any one of you with an iPad can download the app, and a function like this, you could utilize it to collect email addresses. You could just ask a couple questions. What are the hot topics? You could be 1 or 2 questions. Conduct a quick survey of your audience at this meeting, at another meeting, wherever you're going, and really get a consensus of how the people feel in that room. Instant results with audit capability. If you're not looking to do a scientific poll, there is an option to turn that on or off, so you don't have to go through the process of requiring a voter ID or pushing someone to go that extra degree. But if you're just looking for some standard results, that's perfect for that. Ability to receive an email voting receipt. This is one of my prouder enhancements over the voting process. The one thing I don't understand with technology is how I can go and vote. And with technology where it is today, why I can't get proof of my vote. Why can't I see how the vote was registered? What is wrong with that? Is it technology is just that far behind? Is it that it's too difficult to incorporate technology fast enough in that way of a system? Well, what I've included is the ability to receive an email voting receipt. At the end of the poll, it gives you an option to insert your email address. The email address is inserted, and the results of your vote is emailed to you. It is easy to use, it is safe, it is secure, it was designed and it will only work on the Apple iPad. I have had people ask me about moving it over to the Android. I am not comfortable enough with the security back end of the Android system to port it quite yet. And it is available in the App Store. Can I have the next slide, please? So how it works. Next slide. When you open up the app, this is the screen you see. If you're utilizing the scientific polling option or the voter ID, when you click Start Poll, it will actually pop up with a little window. And for those of you who have attended the Pennsylvania Leadership Conference, on the back of your badge is a 5-digit number or letters number combination. And that is used to cross-check, avoiding someone from voting twice, and also cross-checking that at the end in the audit proceeding, stating that that number wasn't one of the ones that were assigned. They're anonymous, they're stickers that go on the back of the ID, so they're not tied to your name, but it allows me to audit and validate that it is a scientific poll. You only voted once, and if you're not a registered voter, you didn't vote. So next slide. This is the back end. The back end of it is something that really isn't seen. And so I did want to take just a couple minutes and really show you really what that looks like. Inside the back end, you'll see at the very top, add new poll, and here I have a straw poll demo poll, and then obviously reset the admin password in the credits. Next slide. To add a question, it's just as easy. If you've used an iPhone, you've used an iPad, if you've used any Apple device, it is very simple, very easy to figure out. You type in your question, you type in an answer, beside the answer you add 1, 2, 3. There's the ability to doing a single or a multiple choice. So if you're looking for more than one option, you can have multiple selections, and obviously the writing capability. I know actually several companies in the area that will utilize the writing capability when they just at a trade show and they're just collecting email addresses. They'll ask, are you a subscriber of this publication? Yes, no. And then will you provide us your email address? Write in your email address. That email address is now collected. Next slide. The other portion of it, which obviously with this being a demo poll, it really doesn't show results. But right from this screen, it is going to show you the poll results. So at the end of your event, you can go through, view the poll results, and see how the people have voted instantaneously. There's no tabulating an Excel sheet. There's no counting votes. It's done for you. In there, you have several options. The option to reset image is a relatively new feature. What that will allow you to do is that image that shows up on the home page, well, you're not straw poll. You're the Harrisburg Tea Party Patriots. You can actually have your logo on that home page, so when someone goes in, they see your logo, not the straw poll logo. The VID is that scientific. That's showing you want to require the user to insert a voter ID. If it's off, there's no question. It just takes them straight into the poll, otherwise it does. The email receipt is an option. You don't have to use it. It is an option in there. As is activate poll, that is what turns the poll on or off. So you can have 5, 10 polls in the system and switch them between the event that you're at. Next slide. Now the Pennsylvania straw poll, as I said earlier, this was the 4th year that we've done the Pennsylvania straw poll. And I just want to share one of the results with you, and it was mentioned earlier tonight, but the presidential straw poll on the next slide. Oh, actually, it's the one after this. But anyways, for the Pennsylvania straw poll, some key points. Actually, go back one slide for me. We used 4 iPads at the 2014 Pennsylvania straw poll. In 2013, we used 3 iPads. This year, we used 4. And the goal is to keep the line moving. The goal is to streamline the process and get as many votes in as we can. Next year, I have a goal of having 5 iPads or even maybe 6. Each attendee was given a random, unique voter ID. That enables us to call it a scientific poll. We collected 249 ballots, and one of the more proud things I'm proud to say is 3 out of 4 voters actually put their email address in and got an email receipt. I don't collect the email addresses, I just see it as a number 1 if they did an email receipt or a 0 if they don't. But that is outstanding and definitely shows what that means. All right, next slide. The top 5. Obviously, each year we do kind of a favorite for the Republican nominee for president. Scott Walker brought in 11%, Ben Carson 13%, Rick Santorum 13%. And this year, in the first presidential poll that I can say I've seen from either CPAC, any major conference, or the PLC, is we had a tie at 20% for Ted Cruz and Rand Paul. They had the exact same number of votes, and that's impressive. We have 2 early leaders, and definitely it's 2 people I think we can really get behind, and in fact all 5 of those I think would be a great nominee. So our next slide will work for me. Next slide. Simply, yes. There are two ways you can run it. Your group can run it. It is available in the App Store. It's 99 cents. Currently, the only way currently, there's no syncing from one device to another. So if you're looking to set up multiple devices, there's some inner working things that need to be done to get the same questions onto multiple iPads. That feature is not currently in there, so it's one iPad set up. If you want to do two iPads, you're setting up the second iPad. It is something we are working on with iCloud synchronization, but security is a big thing, and it's one of the main reasons it's not in yet. Another option, similar to the Pennsylvania Leadership Conference, I have a large group of volunteers that are very familiar with the system. We can come out to your event, we can help you run it, we can bring our iPads, and we can take care of it and run a straw poll if you're running a conference, if you're running something you want people to vote at. So really there are two options that you can really generate that result. And the next slide. Really, thank you.